Social media and its influence on employee work dedication, job calling, and job satisfaction.
Claire Crade,
Malia Tanaka,
Megan Blanco,
Hannah Torrance,
Ellie Fateh.
There are more than 1 billion active Facebook users. If Facebook were a country, it would be the third largest after India and China. Facebook has over 1.3 trillion likes and 140.3 billion friend connections. 80% of businesses are active on Facebook. Facebook is the fourth most popular viewed site, trumping even Google. Current statistics of U.S. companies show 76% use social networks for business purposes, and overall, nearly 7% of all business internet traffic in the U.S. alone goes to Facebook.
A contended issue, the use of social media in the workplace, has proven to improve an overall more pleasant air in the workplace. A study examining factors that influence adoption of social network sites of individuals in Singapore has concluded that age was the most significant factor in the adoption of social networking sites. There has been little research on the motivational effects of social networking sites in the workplace, and thus should be researched further.
materials and methods used to measure the influence of social media in the workplace and amongst co-workers. Researchers contacted 31 local businesses and organizations inquiring of their interest in participating in a survey on social media in the workplace. Of 31, 3 companies responded. Those 3 companies were then sent the surveys, where 29 participated in the 46-question survey in regards to the following: technology, Facebook adoption, Facebook intensity, work dedication, perceived calling, job satisfaction, social trust, and demographics. Once the data was submitted, it was then entered and coded into SPSS and analyzed using Pearson's correlation, chi-square, t-test, and ANOVA. However, findings were most poignant in Pearson's correlation and ANOVA, to be discussed later in the results. A reliability analysis was conducted in order to calculate the Cronbach's alpha, which concluded that the sections called work dedication, perceived calling, and job satisfaction had the reliability of above 0.7. In regards to ANOVA, the independent variable was months at job and the dependent variable was work dedication. Cronbach's alpha for work dedication was 0.91. For perceived calling, it was 0.94, and for job satisfaction, 0.80. Table 1 is an illustration of the Cronbach's alpha measured for perceived calling, concluding that it is statistically reliable.
After running many tests, it was found through a Pearson's correlation that there was a somewhat high positive correlation between work calling and work dedication, with a p-value of 0.683. Table 3 is a visual representation of this correlation. Through an ANOVA test, it was indicated that there was also a somewhat significant difference between months at a job and work dedication, with a p-value of 0.046.
Because there was a significant difference between months at job and work dedication, a post hoc test was the preferred next step. However, there were not enough participants in this particular study to reinforce a conclusion. Thus, because the p-value is less than 0.5, the null hypothesis was rejected, which reinforced that the findings are significant. There was a moderate correlation between the mean of work satisfaction and work dedication at 0.512. Also, there was a moderately negative correlation between Facebook users and work dedication. Table 4 is an ANOVA comparison test between months at job and work dedication. Table 2 above is a visual representation of the positive correlation between work dedication and job calling. Conclusions. On the moderately strong positive correlation between work calling and work dedication, the strongest correlation found in the study, those who reported a higher sense of work dedication also reported a higher sense of work calling. This becomes apparent when an individual in the workforce recognizes his sense of purpose within the company, and thus is more determined in his commitment to the company. On the somewhat significant difference between months at job and work dedication, it is quite obvious that the longer an individual has adhered to a company, the more steadfast he is in an enthusiasm for the company. The moderate correlation between the mean of work satisfaction and work dedication is apparent. For if the individual is enjoying his time at work, he will be more committed in his loyalty to the company. On the moderately negative correlation between Facebook users and work dedication, it can be inferred that Facebook has no effect on enthusiasm or inspiration in the workplace.
Further research would delve into what specific section of their Facebook profiles are visible to their coworkers. With that said, Instagram would be a thought-provoking social media network to look further into, as the Instagram privacy settings are not as customizable as they are on Facebook. If coworkers are connected via Instagram, they are able to view all photos. In contrast, it is possible that coworkers connected through Facebook will limit each other's visibility. Also, over time, trends in social network will change. Out with the old, in with the new. New social networks may appear on the web, leaving others at bay for competition.
We would like to thank Dr. Kurt Key for his continual guidance in this field of social research. We would also like to thank the Chapman University Communications Department for allowing us the opportunity to train under notable minds who continue to contribute to our understanding of communication.
For further research, please contact Key at chapman.edu for more information on this and other related projects.